Well, the first question this week is this. How does the grit of an abrasive affect the natural nail? Are there grits that shouldn't be used on the natural nail, and why? I've been told not to use anything coarser than a 180 grit on natural nails, but I don't know if this is supported by science or just a myth. The grit describes the average size of abrasive particles. The lower the grit number, the bigger the particle. For instance, a 60 grit particle is a little more than 3 times larger than a 180 grit and 5 times larger than a 240 grit abrasive particle. That may not sound like much, but if you're 5 feet tall, someone 5 times larger than you would be 25 feet tall. So it's sort of like comparing a Volkswagen with a 2-story house. A good rule to remember is the lower the grit, the bigger the abrasive particle. The bigger the abrasive particle, the deeper and wider the scratch will be, and that it will leave in the nail plate. So, in my opinion, the natural nail can be properly prepared using a 240 grit abrasive, if the nail plate is properly cleaned and prepared. Now, this requires removing oils, debris, dead cuticle tissue from the nail plate surface, since these can block adhesion of all nail coatings. Problems develop when the nail plates aren't properly cleaned or carefully prepared. This is one reason why I recommend that clients wash their hands using a clean and disinfected nail brush before the service begins. This removes surface oils as well as bacteria and fungal organisms. Rather than take the time to properly prepare the nail plate, some choose to do their nail prep work with a 180 grit file. Sure, that removes surface oils, but this can result in excessive thinning of the nail plate if proper care isn't taken, and if too much downward force is applied. Anything lower than a 180 grit file is risky business when used on the natural nail plate, and very likely to lead to excessive damage. In my view, the only reason for using grits lower than 180 is to thin down nail coatings for quicker removal by solvents. Reducing the coating thickness decreases soaking time, but this should be done cautiously to avoid damage to the underlying nail plate and bed.